y'all, it's Crafty Hope here and welcome. I am going to create a little tag. I was desperately wanting to do some art. I don't know, I've been really into making some jewelry lately, trying to get ready for the holidays and try to get the house and my craft room and all of that clean, and have been neglecting my getting any art done. So I had, in some of my cleaning, I found a little scrap of plastic from some Tim Holtz thing and thought, oh, this would make a great pattern on a jelly plate. Because I had seen somebody, probably Bridget Coopson, is that right? I don't know. Use like packaging from the bubble packaging from medicine, and that worked great. So that's what inspired this. And so I pulled out this 8 by 10, I think, which jelly, it's not Jelly Arts, it's the other one, Gel Press. It's a gel press plate. And I put down some Lucas turquoise and Lucas Payne's Gray acrylic paint on there and just spread them out with my brayer. And now I'm using this little piece of packaging to get some texture on here. Now, it didn't work as great as I had hoped, but it was fun to try and experiment and just kind of get a little messy. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you that a bunch of the stuff I'm using today, I had some happy mail from Nina Fickett a while ago. Oh my goodness. Nina was kind enough to send me a bunch of fun stuff, including this coffee filter that had been used. So I decided to that's what I'm putting down on my jelly plate. And let me see, I'm using some other piece of something that I had also jelly printed on that same jelly plate, it looks like, which is odd. And so you see, I got a little bit of a print on there, especially in that turquoise, not so much in the Payne's Gray, but it added some texture along with the texture that I got from the coffee filter. So I'm using a little flashcard that I picked up at a thrift store at some point and tearing down that coffee filter. And so this is a little packet of ephemera. This is vintage ephemera that Nina had included in her happy mail to me, and she sells all kinds of ephemera and stuff like this on her site, or at least she did. I will link to Nina's YouTube channel as well as maybe her Etsy shop too. Now I love this little receipt thing. It's almost craft paper colored and felt very aged and yummy, and yeah, so I've got that and a bunch of the other little vintage doodads that Nina had sent and that coffee filter. And I needed something else, so I've pulled out a security envelope. This is from one of my bills. I love this pattern and I save it all the time, y'all. I think I create more trash in my house. And I'm going to just start gluing this stuff down, covering this card up. I really like that those receipts are kind of thin, and even once I get it glued down on top of the flashcard, I can still see, like, I don't know, can you see it? That 17 and that 6 on there. Ah, I love it. So I'm using my Uhu glue stick and sticking this stuff down. Of course, I'm messy, and so I'm sticking things to itself. I was trying to do this pretty quickly. Like I said, I've had a lot going on, and I just had a few minutes to spare to get some art in. So I was trying to do this in as little time as possible. You can see a timer up there in the upper right, but I had another timer going, I think, for a 30-minute timer. I didn't want this to take any longer than 30 minutes, and I think it ended up being like 28 minutes. I know this video's 12 something, but that's only because I fast forwarded this. I cut some of the drying time out too. I mean, because y'all don't want to watch me create for half an hour, and yeah. So I have got those little pieces down on the card, and in the little package of ephemera from Nina is this little card, and I don't know if it's one of those like cigarette cards or some other kind of something she cut. It was kind of heavy, kind of like a cardstock material of this old car, and it matched that turquoise and Payne's Gray I had used perfectly. So I was like, yep, I am going to use that. But I wanted some more texture in there, so I dipped into my little fabric scraps and pulled out this piece of lace. And for some reason, I really liked how it looked on this card. And it was, I think, something about like the masculine nature of like a car and the lace and that juxtaposition of those two things really kind of called out to me that cars can, especially a car like that, can totally be like soft and pretty. It doesn't have to be all masculine. So I'm digging that. I'm going to grunge all of this up a little bit. I took a water soluble graphite stick and splashed it on my card, and then I decided, since I had that kind of gray black on there, I needed some white. So I grabbed the Liquitex acrylic ink in titanium white and a wet paintbrush, and I'm just going to put some splatters of that on there too. Yep. So I've got, that kind of helps integrate all that stuff together so that those things don't feel so separate. And I'm going to dry this real quick so everything is sticking there. And when that graphite dries, it's not as dark. So, and it kind of grayed out and gave it, I don't know, when you see the pictures at the end, y'all, you're going to see that real yumminess that's there. Now, I decided I needed something else to back that car, and dictionary paper is my jam. So I grabbed a piece of that, and then I think I've got a little piece of like some kind of scrapbook paper that's got a dark blue on it. I think that's what I'm gonna grab. Yep, right there. And kind of fiddle with tearing that down to get a little bit darker blue in here. And I know I've got this sped up, but you can tell I'm kind of rushing too because I wanted to get this made. I was really excited about getting my hands ready. And y'all, I have to tell you, I've got my Yumi 3 coming up this Saturday for November, but I don't have a whole lot else to share with y'all here soon because like I said, I've been busting out the jewelry making lately, trying to get ready for the open house at the antique store where I sell a bunch of my stuff. So hopefully I can get some stuff done this weekend. But with the holidays, it seems like time is getting lost on me. All right, so I decided to add a little bit of mark making in here. I used a gold metallic marker type thing and then this black pen, and I think I did some like tally marks in the gold and just some little sketchy marks in the with the pen, like little dashes, and then scribbled with my chunky pencil. And again, this is all to just add a little bit of texture, a little bit of age to this, make you feel like somebody had used all of this previously. I'm just using I am using my Uhu glue stick to stack all of this together. The lace did not want to stick with the Uhu glue stick, so I knew I'm trying to get at least tack long enough for me to kind of get everything kind of where I want it, and then I'm going to bring in the matte gel medium and glue it down. But first I've pulled out a Stabilo all pencil in black, and I'm going around the edges and then activating it with my wet paintbrush to just darken the edges and frame the whole thing up. I did not go along the bottom because the seam of the coffee filter was there, and something about the texture of it made me feel like it just wouldn't take, or it would disintegrate or something down there. So I just avoided it completely at the bottom. So here comes that matte gel medium and a palette knife. And I don't need that for this little stack of paper. So I'm just going to use my Uhu glue stick because that was going to be kind of fiddly to get on there. But I am going to use it for that heavier cardstock and that lace. Use that palette knife and that matte gel medium. I'm being as careful as I can because I had it laid out just the way I wanted. And like I said, that lace was being super fiddly, and I was like, I'm going to mess something up if I play with this too much. All right, so that is getting all stuck down, and I'm going to go here in just a second and grab one of my, I think it's the Tim Holtz Small Talk stickers. I think that's the next thing that's going to come in here. Well, we're gonna see. I took a scrap of that receipt so it would match and kind of bring that craft color down to the bottom. And I grabbed that, and I knew with the car on there I wanted it to be something about a journey or a destination or something. So I found the phrase, "No journey is too great if you find what you seek." And I thought that was kind of fun because, I was looking to just get in and do my art, and that was what I was seeking, and so it fit for this day. So I stuck that on that piece of receipt and then used my glue stick to stick it all down, I'm going to frame up the card a little bit with my Stabilo. And then I'm going to look at this and realize that, I brought that craft paper down toward the bottom of the card, but I haven't brought any of the blue to the top of the card. And so I wanted to continue that color. Oh, but first, yeah, we'll get to that in a second. First, I punched a hole because I knew this was going to be a tag, and I took some more of that lace that I had. I'm just going to cut it down and do a half hitch knot through the hole I punched. I always get confused which way your loop should enter, and so I did it wrong the first way. And I'm gonna go around. So I go in through the front to get that like knot in the front the way I like it. All right, and then I decide I needed some blue at the top, so I'm going to grab a little bit more of that turquoise acrylic paint from Lucas and just make some finger dots. So here I come. Yep. Like I said, I needed some of that blue up there. It was on the car, it was on the bottom, and it needed just a little something up there. So I'm making my finger dots, and then I'm going to grab what you call it? Well, first a baby wipe or something to clean my finger off. Now that I've got my finger dots. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and clean up some of these other things. And yeah, my desk, since I got paint on, yeah, everything's getting a little cleaned up. So here, I'm going to try that and then grab a China marker and go around those dots with the China marker. And I think that's going to be it for this card out. It was a great little exercise in just taking half an hour out of my day. I know I could probably do something in less time, but I needed it. I needed a good half hour of art. And I really like what I made. I hope you do too. If you do, give me a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed, y'all. And thanks for watching. Bye.